Welcome everybody to another episode of Savage Patriots. This time, I know it's not on our normal scheduled program time, but
So it's a
Yeah.
special episode.
it's a special episode because we have special circumstances today. We have the circumstance of former President Trump being convicted of what do they call this?
Trumped up charges.
Trumped up
Money.
trumping
Yeah.
charges. Yes, there we go. Edit
Yeah.
privacy public. Yeah. So they found him guilty on 34 charges.
Of what?
34.
Of the
Yeah.
same crime.
Oh, the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
again.
falsifying business records. That's what they
Yeah.
said. But
Oh.
but they say the reason it's a felony is because it was a covering up an underlying crime, which they have yet to say what that crime was.
What the crime
Oh
is.
wait, no, they said it was election interference. That's what they're saying, even though election interference isn't a crime.
But I thought they said that it was safe and secure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the most safe and
that's-
secure
that's
election.
what they said.
Now, how can it be?
Oh no,
both?
they're talking about 2016. That's right.
Oh.
That's right. They're not talking
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
that makes
Right,
sense.
because we all know, according to Hillary Clinton, that was totally unfair, and that she should have won, and that
She
Donald
should've,
Trump should not have been president. He was an illegitimate president,
Facts.
as
He
they've said
was
since 2016.
illegitimate.
You know.
Hey, Robin. I'm going to
They
play
love
Nobody
you
was above
something
the
to
law.
begin today of Sebastian Gorka breaking down what the judge had to say before dismissing the jury. And it's hilarious, but scary at the same time. And I think Sebastian was the perfect person to say this because the way he delivers stuff is like on point. It's almost like you feel like you're watching 300 or something. Okay, so here he is. Listen carefully.
Judge Merchan just told the jury that they do not need unanimity to convict. So, for the first time in our history as a republic, a jury of your peers doesn't have to agree. There can be people who say, I don't agree with that charge, and they can still find him collectively guilty. How is that possible? Let me continue our journey into Wonderland. The judge instructed the jury thusly: 4 of you could agree on one of the crimes, another 4 on a different one, and another 4 on a third crime. Judge Merchan said he would treat that 4-4-4 separate decisions of minority agreement as a unanimous verdict. And they've piled 34 counts. 34 counts. And if 4 of the jury members agree on one of them, one of the 34, President Trump will be declared guilty in this obscene perversion of the rule of law, that we don't have to have agreement. So everything you've heard even from me in the last 5 weeks about all we need is one member of the jury, maybe one of the 2 attorneys, or maybe that immigrant, that naturalized citizen from Ireland who may be sane. Maybe that man could say, nah, I don't buy any of it. Cohen's a convicted perjurer. Stormy Daniels thinks she talks to dead people. It's all garbage. I don't agree. In any other circumstance, that one holdout would result in a hung jury or a mistrial. President Trump would walk out of that courtroom a free man. But this morning, 4 hours ago, the judge said, yeah, nah, don't have to agree. Just, pick. It's like a smorgasbord. It's like a buffet. Go through, and if you agree, 4 of you agree on that crime, 4 of you agree on that crime, we'll put him in prison.
There you go.
And that's what they did.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that is exactly what they did.
Last time I checked, judges don't dictate how rulings should go. Like, he can't be, I don't know, moving the goalpost mid-case, mid-deliberation,
Yeah.
right?
It negates the reason for a prosecutor and a defending attorney, and it removes the need for a jury. If
That's
that was
right.
the case, just have the case put before the judge and have the judge make the decision. But that's not what
A bench trial,
Yeah,
which-
bench trial. Have
which
it like,
you
but you're not doing
But
that.
that is left up to the defendant to choose. That's not up for the judge to choose.
Right. So, but in either case, he's not abiding by the rule of law. However, all 34 is what they say. Now, we don't know for sure if that's what actually took place, if it was all 34 count they actually got, but that's
We have
what
to
they're
wait for the
saying.
book deals. Because you know that's what's coming, right? There's going to be all these jurors like, I was on the Trump case. I'm the one that sent him to prison. And they're going to make all these book deals. I have them on MSNBC. All these types of like hefting of praises to these people that convicted the tyrant Donald Trump because they treated like he murdered somebody, even though it was a misdemeanor offense to begin with. They upgraded to a felony in order to catch the Roadrunner.
All right. What's this next one?
This is the comedy relief, because it's about time we need some laughter.
Yes,
if you haven't seen this guy do Trump, he's nailing it dead perfect. Now listen carefully.
Yeah, he's a really good
Quite
impersonator. Yeah.
frankly, it's a disgrace what the crooked scoliosis back judge has done to me. He's so nasty. If you look at him, he's bent over. He's crooked, corrupt. But by the way, I'm winning in the felonies. I have more felonies than probably anybody. If you look at Michael Phelps, he has 23 gold medals, and I have 37 felonies. Nobody does felony better than me. Nobody, by the way.
That's true.
And I'm going to be president from jail. I'm going to be ruling from jail. They're building me a throne made out of the toilets where I will make prison wine, but I won't drink it. I don't drink.
Oh
That was
my
good.
God. And you know, we were talking about, you know, social media
Oh, man.
backstage, how he's talking about the left and on TikTok. They're just all on Twitter. They're just all so happy. Harry Sisson's just going bananas.
The usual suspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the usuals. But the thing is that the majority of the people on the right don't care. You know, we're still voting for him. Oh, okay, he's going to jail. I guess we're still voting for him. And I guess they expect us to really just be down and out and
Distraught.
crying.
Like we're all forlorn, like, oh, he's guilty.
We're not. So we already know who we're voting for. So, you know, keep doing what you guys are doing. Is
But-
giving us good content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the play. This has always been the play. It has nothing to do with if he's actually guilty or not. All they wanted was the headline: convicted felon Donald Trump
Yep.
says X. Convicted felon Donald Trump does Y. Convicted felon, convicted felon. That's what's going to be for until November. Is just going to be convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon, hammered home every single day on every single news report. It's not going to be former President Donald Trump. It's convicted felon Donald Trump. That's
They
what they're
did
going to
this
be
in
saying.
2019 when they
Yeah.
said he was twice impeached. Remember, they kept saying
Mhm.
Yep.
twice impeached Donald Trump, the twice impeached Donald Trump. They wouldn't address him because they went by what they had in their back pocket, and it still didn't
Right.
work, even though it kind of worked. I don't think this time it will necessarily work, but this is what I think their play is. I think they did this for two reasons, and not for two outcomes, but for two reasons. One, they knew they had to get this happen, so they put out the statement that Biden is going to debate him, and their hope was the conviction happened, and then he can say, "I'm going to back out because I'm not going to debate a felon."
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's
Mm.
Biden. That's Biden's first
That's
out.
what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then the second reason they did this is in the hopes that people who do want to vote for Donald Trump become angry enough, which won't happen, by the way, but they'll false flag it, become angry enough that they will act out in some egregious way against somebody who's a Democrat. And then
Yeah.
they'll have to say, well, you see, now this is going to be, we have to be afraid of something happening violent in the country come November, and we can't risk it. And if this kicks off more than once, we're going to have to implement martial law.
Because of
Right.
these MAGA Republicans.
Because of these MAGA, we already branded terrorist, remember?
Yep.
Anybody that's a Republican that even remotely voted for Trump before is branded a terrorist now. So
Mhm.
they've already set the groundwork for them to bring in the idea of martial law, because they've put us in that category already. So the instant they say anybody, this is what the same way they did for J6, they'll have one or two actors do something crazy in the public. And once they say, oh, they were wearing MAGA gear, they have and you'll see them come up with a memoir or some kind of a book
Patriot
that they
Front.
wrote, you know, and
Looking at you.
and then you're going to see them say, oh, see, this is what they've been planning. They were just waiting for us to get Donald Trump, and now, oh, they're going to get violent. Boom. Now they put a lockdown on the whole state. Now you can't go vote. And then the final
Mhm.
caveat, they'll say, because we have to stay home, we're going to try to mail in. Then they'll say, no, well, we can't do mail in because the mail in happens to be messed with by Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have foreign interference and we can't go out. It'll be a type of COVID thing again, and you got to stay home, and we can't have the election. We just got to keep this regime in, because it's safe right now to keep Biden in power. We'll keep him in there for another 2 years. They won't be able to pull out the full 4.
Yep.
And by the time that 2 years is over, They'll have another vote. Biden will get another 4. And
Here's
this is how they're going to keep power.
And to piggyback off that, I would say this to all conservatives out there, because this is what they want, man. So don't go out there and be smooth brains like the left does. Don't go out there and riot. Don't go out there and protest. Don't do none of that. Use your voice the best way you can, but don't go out there and do that stuff, because this is what they want. And I was watching someone on TikTok. They said, remember J6, just like Marlon said, remember the setup. You'll go out there, you'll be protesting or doing whatever you got to do peacefully. They'll have some actors in there, like Marlon said. They'll call something. Next, all Trump supporters are bad. So just stay out of it. No need to go on the streets, and we don't need to loot and do all this stuff like those, low information, low IQ voters do.
I don't think they'll get to the looting part, but they definitely will have a violent false flag pop up.
right
Yeah.
because they want another January 6th.
Yeah, and because we've been known, the Republicans, at least conservatives, have been known to be called as these lone wolf people, or they don't want to be messed with, or we're stuck in the country.
Got
And
the
we are-
militias out in the woods, man.
with militia in the woods. You're going to see somebody walk up to some government building in full militia gear, which is what they have to do. They have to make it look really scary. He's going to have one of those
Patriot
scary
front.
guns. He's going to have a scary gun. He's going to have a face mask on. He's going to have riot gear, and he's going to do something.
MAGA hat.
And a MAGA hat. And he's not going to get killed.
Nope.
He's not going to get killed. He's going to get taken down, a bean bag or something, and go say, we caught the guy before. Or they'll have somebody to actually take a shot, and he'll go down, and they'll be like, see, now we stopped it. But who knows how much else they're going to come up with.
It will be Patriot Front. I'm guarantee you. If
Oh, for
somebody
sure.
gets caught for doing something, carrying out that thing, it's going to be Patriot Front. The reason why is because we all know those are feds. The
Yes,
entire
yes.
organization is a false flag organization that they've put together in order to frame the right as being violent extremists, right? That's what they've been planning all along. Now, here's my theory, is that when his sentencing hearing is, right? It's July 11th. You know what's 4 days after that?
Do tell.
The convention for the RNC. So where he's supposed to receive his nomination at the RNC is when he's getting his 4 days before he's getting his sentencing, right? His debate is supposed to happen next month. So they've got all of this free press to call him a convicted felon until the debate, and then cancel the debate. I'm not debating a convicted felon, right? Then he's going to get sentenced. And I've already said, I think they'll sentence him to jail, right? He's either going to get 2 years of probation and 2 years in jail. That's what my guess is. If I had to put a bet on it, that's my spread. 2 years probation, 2 years in jail.
How would they handle the Secret Service?
No idea. Not my problem.
Well, that is
New
the
York-
problem
they-
about
they-
him being in jail. How they would
New
handle
York, New York said they would handle it. They said they would figure it out with Rikers Island. They'll figure it out. They already said they would.
I don't see them putting him in jail, as Marlon stated. The Secret Service and the amount of manpower and money that they would have to put into that 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. Yeah, I'm telling you, it'd be best. I think my bet would be house arrest. Don't leave your home. Your Secret Service is already there with you, and you cannot leave.
And you can't do your
Either way, he will be incarcerated some way or fashion.
Well, you
That keeps
can't
him
rally
away from the
you can't do
convention.
your rallies.
Yeah.
You can't do the debates from home. It's
At
not
home
going to be
arrest.
Zoom like they wanted to. You can't do none of that stuff. And even when if you did win, you can't get sworn in.
Yeah, and
Because
here's
we're not
the
coming
other
there.
thing. Here's the other thing. That's not even the most extreme portion of my theory, right? They convict him, right? And they say he's going to be arrested, but then he ends up in a tragic accident or heart attack of some sort. And then the convention happens. It's an open convention, and now Nikki Haley gets elected in as the Republican nominee. Because that's what the establishment wanted. They wanted Nikki Haley. The Democrats wanted Nikki Haley. Trump goes away. Nikki Haley in an open primary gets all of the delegates.
She wouldn't win though.
Well,
She
they
wouldn't
can-
win.
they
No,
can-
she
no,
she
yeah.
might do. Joe Biden might step down for Nikki Haley, but either way, you get Joe Biden or Nikki Haley, which is what the establishment wants.
Yeah, they get what they want either way. They get the war machine in charge of everything.
Yep.
So
Right.
this is the Patriot Front, people. I want you to watch, and you tell me what American person that's supposedly a patriot acts like this. Okay, now this is the kind of stuff that they say we do. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, and we wouldn't be hiding our
Always
face.
blurred. They're always masked.
Yeah,
They're
we
always
would
blurred.
never hide our face if we're going to be doing this stuff. We're going to let people know we're doing it. We're not going to be doing that. This is not us.
No.
This has nothing to
Yeah.
do with actual American patriots. And That's not even what
All
what even
feds.
is this?
Don't know.
These are all feds, man.
They you know what this reminds me of? You remember when Antifa started getting big back
Yeah.
then, and they were doing these promo videos like this, showing them fighting and doing all this silly stuff in the woods. These guys are just the same. Again, I think part of Antifa. I think a lot of Antifa are feds. You know,
Here's the other reason I know that they're feds is because there have been no incidences or arrests involving them because they went
And they
after
have their website.
Bad Boys hard.
they have
They
been
went
put
after
in
them hard.
handcuffs. They have been put in handcuffs.
Confidential informants, no matter what they do, never get arrested. They could shoot somebody in broad daylight and they never get arrested. Why? Because they have the feds behind their back. It's the same rationale. Patriot Fund doesn't go to jail and there's no issues with them because they are confidential informants. They are feds. Period.
I remember them
Allegedly.
allegedly. I remember
Allegedly.
I remember this video. I'm gonna
See
bring
me.
that
Let's
up
have
here.
discovery.
And we're still on the Trump thing, people. Just understand that, but we're trying to flesh out what this all is going to mean.
The guy who fancies him.
Yeah.
Now, watch carefully. If you just saw the guy that squatted down, watch the guy on the right here. Look at him, right? Just make sure you watch him, and look how many different types of ties they have on their hand, right? And if you arrested somebody, you know what you wouldn't do is leave the mask on their face.
That's right.
That's
Or
that's
the
one.
sunglasses or the hats or any of that.
Or their coats, because you know what you could have in your coat? A weapon. They would take your coat off before they even put your handcuffs on.
Yeah, because they need to identify you, right? So I need to look at your ID. I need to look
Thank
at your face. I need to see that they match.
Thank you.
Right? That's a logical step for policing.
And another rule of thumb is to keep them separate. They wouldn't be that
Yeah,
close together.
why?
Look.
Why?
They're
even
all
with
in
Antifa,
order.
like,
We'd
they
been
do
receiving
that.
information over the last couple of days that there were a number of groups that were planning on to disrupt today's activities. And so that was the reason for the large presence of uniformed officers.
You know the reason he can't look up and talk?
Because he's lying.
He's reading a script.
Yep.
But that is what happens. Is he? This is what we've been saying. They will create a reason to criminalize the people they disagree with. They do this on every front. Every time, this is what they do, and it's been par for the course every time. It's not going to be any different. There were no, like you said, Mike. There's no Antifa people that went to prison. When the riots in 2020 happened, when the riots in 19 happened, the riots in 18 happened, they didn't do a thing to anybody. When 2016 happened and people were throwing Molotov cocktails at courthouses, nobody got arrested. And if they did, you saw Hollywood bail them out. You saw politicians on the Democrat side bail them out. And they were allowed to do that. If that's not in election interference because you're picking sides, I don't know what is. But with this particular event with Trump being arrested, or at least being convicted at this point, you're going to see another phase of their brazen behavior step out. And that's going to be this. Anybody that talks in response to Trump being arrested as a good thing, you're going to get censored. If you talk about the government trying to overtake the rest of the United States, you're going to get censored. And if you say anything along the lines of there will be another J6 event, watch out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out.
Instant FBI, I think.
Instant.
And you know something else that's getting banned today on my Grizzle Grunt page. I posted a poster. It said nothing can stop what is coming. Someone shared it and they got a flag for it from Facebook. That's all it had. Had a picture of Trump, a silhouette, and said nothing can stop what is coming. And they got a strike for that poster.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's
So just like things like that, I've posted stuff, and this is tying into what Marlon's saying. If you get on TikTok and test it out, if you get on TikTok, post a video and says, where we go one, we go all.
No,
Or
yeah.
if you post, nothing can stop what is coming, they will take that video down. So you're right. Anything that alludes to anything J6 wise, anti-government, against the establishment wise, they're gonna get you.
So if you still think that this republic is still functioning as intended,
it's not at all. No. This is the point. This is what they want. They want the dysfunction so they can prove that they can be the ones to fix the dysfunction. And if you think the Democrats can fix the dysfunction, I direct you to Baltimore, Chicago, Los Angeles, Oakland, St. Louis, any one of those. You take a look at anything where they run and see if it's actually functioning. Look at any place that has chaos where they're in charge and see if there's no chaos after they've been in charge for a while.
Right.
They have no intentions of undoing chaos. The chaos is what helps them. Chaos keeps everybody else distracted while they pass laws without you knowing. It's the same way they pass big bills. They bring a massive bill with a bunch of pork in it, give it to you the night before until you read it, and then the next day they vote on it, but you don't have any clue in it. Then now you have to either stay home and read or stay out of the place and read, and then by then time it's already passed. They've had it for months because they've been planning it. And this is the exact same thing with Trump. They've been planning this since 2016 to take him down. They hamstrung him with impeachment this, impeachment that. They hamstrung him in the House because of rhino Republicans and because of Democrats. They hamstrung him for 4 years. By the time he got out, there's nothing done. Part of it is on him, yes, because he could have done the executive order thing. But I think in his mind, he was banking on the second 4 years to do more.
Yeah.
Which is why I think with this time around, he's more considered a danger because he's a loose cannon, even more loose than before. I'm not going to have to worry about a re-election. I'm just going to go whole hog and just wipe everything off. I could see him wanting to do that, and I think that's what they're really afraid of. I think that's what they're
afraid. Because he's going to do exactly everything they've already been doing to him.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason they're afraid.
And you're right. They're afraid, and they keep bringing up the fact that Donald Trump said he was going to be a dictator. He said that one time, one day. They keep talking about how I don't know where they get this from, where Donald Trump wants to get rid of the Constitution. I'm still searching for when he said that. They keep throwing things out there like that in order to cause panic on the other side.
Well, they're doing it already. I mean, have you heard Jennifer Lewis's rhetoric?
Yeah,
the actress.
Yeah. The president has already said that no constitutional amendment is absolute, right? So he's totally a constitutionalist. Right? No amendment is absolute.
Here we go.
Donald Trump really said it. He'll be a dictator for a day if reelected.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one."
Trump made the extraordinary vow at a town hall in Iowa.
A vow? Really? Was it a vow?
Yeah.
Look, I understand that the left doesn't understand sarcasm and quick wit because you got a meatball for a president. I get it. He doesn't know what quick wit. He doesn't even know what quick is. Everything he moves is at a snail's pace. I get you all don't understand it, but if you'd watch his face and listen to the statement asked,
he says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one."
I don't see how that's like him being dead serious about being a dictator.
Yep.
It's not. It's a nothing burger.
And I bet
Trump
you
made the extraordinary vow at a town hall in Iowa, moderated by Fox News host Sean Hannity, who was attempting to quell fears that Trump would exact revenge on his political enemies.
As he should.
You are promising America tonight.
I agree.
You would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
A promise from Donald
Trump. You see how quick they cut that?
Yep.
And even it's so funny.
This is what the sheep will listen to and be like, yeah, he said it. I heard him say it. I heard him. You morons will listen to that and think, yeah, that's what he said. Look, just admit to yourself that you have very low IQ. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're just plain stupid. Okay, you didn't graduate elementary school. You're smooth brain. Nothing about you is intelligent. You were left out of the varsity team. You're a picked last in the Pee Wee school game. You were the loser of all time. That's what you were. And for some reason, you found a team that's filled with losers, and they accepted you for some strange reason. But in reality, they didn't accept you. But they'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff to make you feel good about yourself. And you're like, oh, they love me. You're like the mask. They love me. They really love me. But they don't.
No.
And they'll feed you this tripe. And you're like a good little sheep running around and regurgitate it. But the people who are more intelligent than you will look at you and say, huh, look at that poor little lemming. He doesn't even understand what he's saying. That poor thing. We're actually we're partially feeling sorry for you, but we scoff at you. You actually feel like gum underneath our shoe. And it's not that we're superior, but we are better.
Yeah.
I think it's about time we start admitting one thing. We're better than them.
Yeah, we are.
We research. We don't just take everything that's handed to us. We don't just eat off of their platter. We're better than them. They can say it, right? They say it all the time. But we are.
You know, Marlon, I wish you know how they do those polls and all that stuff. I wish they would get a group of conservatives, right-leaning, moderates, whatever, and a leftist or progressives and conservatives, hardcore. Put them all in a room, separate rooms, and give them all an IQ test.
fails.
Well, they've done that already.
I'm talking about the same background, same blue collar, white collar, whatever. Put them all in a room, give them an IQ test. I can guarantee that the right's going to have a higher IQ than the left. Guarantee.
So this is the reason why we can't coexist.
We're not
Like honestly, this is the reason. But the reason I say this is I think is that the left doesn't want to coexist with the right. They don't at all. They are totalitarians. They say either do what we say or else. That's the only way the left operates. Do what we say or else. That's it. To the detriment of conservatives, we say, hey, we should tolerate each other's views. We should all live in the same country together. We still believe we live in the same country.
Mm-hmm.
The left does not believe that. They believe they live in their democracy, and we're just in the way.
Yep.
Yeah. And as far as we can tell with this is only going to become progressively more crazy the further along we go.
Yeah.
This is going to be the kind of thing that is going to require patience on our side, because we can't fall into the trap that the left has fallen into, which is emotionality. We have to stay focused on what we know and not what we believe. It's not about I wish. It's what you know. You know it's rigged. Good. Know that and just understand that that's what it is.
Yep.
The more we give into what they want us to give into, they win. And they will push it until they win even more. If you are one of those people who are, even if you're an independent, if your mind is the kind of mind that relies on concrete stuff that you can see tangibly and that you can easily prove, then you shouldn't be falling for this hokey doke. You should be able to blatantly see right through it, listen to what's being told, weigh it against what you already know, and see like, nah, man, that don't make no sense. And you don't give in to the emotional side, because if you do that, that's it. That's when they really win. They expect you to be exactly like they thought you were on J6. Not that, they expect you to be like that. They want you to behave like the leftists did on the day that George Floyd got arrested. I'm not going to say he got killed, because he didn't get killed. Offed himself. Yep. They want you to be like the same way they were on the 2016. They want you to be like the left. Your job right now is to not be like them.
Yeah.
I would say this is the best option you have, is laugh at them.
And on that point, Marlon, stop engaging them. I think we talked about this a couple days ago on the podcast. You see a lot on TikTok, and people want to engage these leftists so bad and go into their lives and so-called debate them or argue with them. Ignore them. Don't give them anything. Make fun of them all you want, but don't go into their lives and try to go in a back and forth with these buffoons, because they don't care what you say. You don't care what they say. You're going nowhere. Just you stay over there. I'll stay over here. I have my belief. Yeah. You'll have your belief. We'll see you in November. Because they want that engagement, because they don't have any talent. They need you for clout. Remember that.
You can't reason somebody out of a position they didn't reason themselves into.
Yeah, that's very true.
So and here's the other rationale that I say that with, is that nobody's above the law except for whoever's on Epstein client list, or whoever Ghislaine Maxwell sold children to. Nobody's above the law except for Hunter Biden and the missing person, whoever dropped that cocaine in the White House. I mean, that person definitely is above the law, whoever that might be.
He's above it by absentia.
Yeah. So there's tons of things we can point to and go, hey, what about X? What about Y? Like, if you put so much effort into getting Donald Trump, but yet we still have no idea who was having relations with young children through Epstein this entire time. I know you know that information. We know the FBI knows that information, because they were the ones that were blackmailing them. They'd have the information. So nobody's above the law except for the people that we deem to be essential in their eyes. Donald Trump is not essential.
They don't even want to talk about Biden taking a shower with his daughter, and that's been proven already. Nobody wants to talk about that. The minute you bring that up, well, we're not talking about Biden. Oh,
you're deflecting.
You'd rather vote for a pedophile than a felon. I'm voting for the felon.
Yeah.
That's what I'm voting for.
It's so funny to me. Why, if this is the case, since Donald Trump has now been convicted of felonies, what about war crimes from Bush and the Bush administration?
Well, hear me out. This is good. This is why I think we should be happy. Listen to why I think we should be happy they did this. They are setting precedent. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. If they set precedent where you can now go retroactively back to whatever as far back, because they said it was no, what would they call it?
There's no statute of
No
limitation.
statutes of limitation on it. So
Yeah.
you can go back as far as you want. So the
Yep.
next time they are no longer in power, whether in the House, the Senate, or the presidency, they have now opened Pandora's box for
They don't-
anyone to go after
don't-
anyone that they disagree
You
with.
don't have to wait for that. They could do it at the state level because that's what the Democrats have been doing.
But
They've been
they
doing it
won't.
at the state level.
But they won't. That's the thing. They will not do
That's
it at
the
the state
problem.
level. Well, they're
Right,
not going to do it at the state level.
So will this turn into a case law, Trump versus state of New York or something like that?
If it gets to where it's supposed to, yeah, I think it will end up getting there.
Through-
And I think
through-
it's
Already
some
broken the
massive
glass
changes
ceiling.
to the presidency and the rules there after that point.
So then-
the general precedent up until now was that nobody goes after former presidents. No matter what they did, no matter how heinous, nobody went after them, including Nixon for his thing. Everything that they have done to Donald Trump is far beyond what Nixon ever could have dreamed of, right?
Right.
And they've done it. But that was a precedent. We don't go after former presidents. They've broken the glass ceiling on that. Now it's free game for everybody.
Free game.
At least it
Yep.
should be, but it won't be. It'll only be used for political purposes by the Democrats only.
Can you imagine if they went after Barack? Can you imagine the amount of war
Should.
crimes they can charge him
Oh
for?
my gosh.
You're going to see
should.
Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Black Lives Matter all come out of their little holes talking about they're going after the black man because they're racist.
Yeah.
Systematic racism. That's what they'll say.
Right?
At that point, I don't care. Like Nuremberg trial version 2, please.
Call me what you
So,
want.
I mean, even Biden still falls under that because we're talking about the ICC charging Netanyahu and his defense minister,
Yes.
and the person that is perpetrating and selling weapons to genocidal maniacs is the Biden administration, which is what the left is calling a genocide. Their words, not mine, their words, right? I would
Right.
tend to agree, but that's what they even say themselves. But they're never going to charge Biden with any crime. But nobody's above the wall, except for when your name is Donald Trump or
And you-
disagree with.
Yeah.
Then you're done. Then you're done.
Mhm.
This thing is going to be
Exactly.
crazy. I think we'll have to. We definitely will monitor this as
Yeah.
much as we can. But I think in the end, at the end of this, what really it comes down to is us staying focused on facts, us staying focused on what we know, us staying focused on what is real and not what is intended. Because the instant we slip off the cart, we're gonna end up just like the left.
Which is why I think
that's when the resistance stops.
Oh, absolutely, and I think therefore it's imperative that all of us, those of us who are watching, and all of us here on this panel as well, understand what our rights are constitutionally. I mean, I mean, as far as I'm aware of, this is a violation of Trump's Sixth Amendment.
Oh, it's been a
They've
violation of
violated
everything.
a lot of it.
True, but in this case, even that, like,
Remember,
specifically-
Biden said, and his mantra is, "No amendment is absolute," and so we can violate any amendment we feel like because no amendment is absolute. That's what he says. But
I wanna
Trump
find
is a
that.
danger to democracy.
Yeah, they just have to be, careful. Like I said, when this goes to the appeals, I honestly think it's going to get demolished when it gets to the appeals court.
Oh
Because
yeah,
first,
for sure.
They're going to be like, okay, this is a federal case dealing with a former president at the city state level.
Of
Why
which
was
yeah,
Yeah,
the federal
why was
didn't
he-
want it.
Yeah, why was it even here? This should have been at the federal level. Why is it here? So I think once it gets there, they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, yeah,
But the appeals
this-
process will take too long. And
I don't care how long it takes. It's the fact that it's going to go to the appeals process and it's going to get knocked down. Guarantee. I think at least.
but that's the
But
whole
I-
game, is to make it last as long as possible.
Yeah, they can try, but what's going to happen? The election is going to happen. If it happens, Trump is going to run. They're not going to keep him out from running. They know this.
Just write
Trump
him
gets
in.
elected, and then Trump just pardons himself.
That is if he's still alive by that point.
Yeah.
And that's
I
how-
pardon me.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
So let's hear what the actual dictator in chief has said before.
Does he have a
That's how
mask
we'll-
on?
This is how we'll part ways.
Yes,
with
he
this
still has the
broadcast.
mask on.
360. Let's see what he says.
Are they still masking? They're still masking.
Vice President, thank you very much.
This is an old clip.
Yeah,
You know,
but this is when
we're
he said that
joined
nothing is
today
absolute.
by the
Oh.
Attorney General, Merrick Garland, who I've asked to prioritize gun violence. It's also good to see the second gentleman who is here. And it's good to see the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden. who cares deeply about this issue as well. And I look out
'cause
there
she's
and
a
I
healthcare
see so
professional.
many members of Congress who've led in this fight. So many of you who've never given up. So many of you are absolutely determined, as Murph and others are, to get this done. We got a long way to go. It seems like we always have a long way to go. But also today we're taking steps to confront not just the gun crisis, but what is actually a public health crisis. Nothing I'm about to recommend in any way impinges on the Second Amendment. They're phony arguments suggesting that these are Second Amendment rights at stake from what we're talking about. But no amendment to the Constitution is absolute.
How do
I'm
you
not
argue
attacking
someone
it.
who doesn't
I'm
believe
not
that?
attacking it, but nothing of it about it is absolute. So we can attack it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No
He's a
amendment is
potato.
absolute in terms of being able to be amended and argued and contested. Yes, but it has to be done through process. You can't just wave your hand and say, "I believe this is null and void now," or this section of it doesn't work, or this section doesn't work.
It's not an easy process, and
I don't know if I think he can. He'll have to stay at his course if he's in prison or confined to Mar-a-Lago. So no, he can stay. I don't think he needs to be at the White House to do what he has to do. That's just a hub. But
you have to listen. You have to listen to the wordage. So this is what I believe: is that I will defeat him is the words that they will use, or he cannot win is what they used to say. Now it'll be he cannot be allowed to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's
already said that.
wording.
Yeah, I sent that
Be
letter
allowed
to the chat. The Kamala Biden letter that they put out, the statement
Let
after
me bring it up
the
here.
charge, and they kind of alluded to what Coy was saying, pretty much.
So even if he wins, they're not gonna allow him to take office. That's gonna be the thing. So it's not a coup. It's not a coup. It's just we're trying to stop a dictator from taking charge of the U.S. government, right? So it's not a coup if we say that the election results are null and void and the will of the American people isn't followed if we keep power and we remove Donald Trump or keep him in jail because he's a felon, by the way. We have to keep convicted felons out of the White House.
Here's that letter. The Biden-Harris campaign statement today on today's verdict in New York today. We saw that no one is above the law. Donald Trump has always mistakenly believed he would never face consequences for breaking the law for his own personal gain. But today's verdict does not change the fact that the American people face a simple reality. This is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
Wow, that's
at the ballot box is what they're saying. Huh? Convicted felon or not, Trump will be the Republican nominee for president. The threat Trump poses to our democracy, which we are not, has never been greater. He is running an increasingly unhinged campaign of revenge and retribution. You mean like you're doing now?
I hope so.
Pledging to be a dictator on day one. I hope he does. And calling on our Constitution to be terminated. You mean like your Biden said that none of it's absolute? Yeah, I get what you mean. So he can regain and keep power. You mean like you're doing by pulling out your opponent out of the race? I hear you. A second term, a second Trump term means chaos, ripping away Americans' freedoms and fomenting political violence. You mean like you've been pushing to call us violent?
And say when. I'm down.
And the American people will reject this in November. Now, I want to make something abundantly clear to the retard in post named Obama, Biden, and the slut next to him, Kamala Harris. Let's make one thing abundantly clear. The amount of times you open your legs will not stop the American people from voting against you. And the amount of stupid statements you make because you slept with your babysitter also will not keep the American people from voting. And I don't care how many times you showered with your daughter naked in the shower with her and touched her inappropriately and allowed her to expose herself because that's the kind of stuff you like. None of that will stop the American people because eventually that information will come out. And it's already getting more traction no matter how hard you try to scrub it from the internet. Because you know who's going to keep saying it? The Savage Patriots. We'll keep announcing it every time we get. You're a chimo, and the woman that's next to you is the one that you were a chimo with, and the vice president you have is a slut. Plain and simple. She slept her way to the top, and she's still slob-knobbing her way around the White House.
Damn right.
Did you see what he said about her today?
What?
He outright called her a diversity hire.
Well, that's what she is.
Oh,
she is.
Yeah.
But he said it live to an audience of people that she was only put in that place because she's a diversity hire.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny?
He's telling you exactly who he
And
is.
then she'll be like, "Oh, Joe, you know what he
It
means?
was
He
a
just
speech.
was a he
We did
misspoke.
it, Joe. We did
He
it.
misspoke. He misspoke."
Only
Yes,
okay, so that's the
Lydia.
misunderstanding most people have. The only thing that a president can pardon is federal crimes. He cannot pardon state crimes. That's up to the governor. And the governor of New York doesn't like Trump, so good
At
luck
all.
with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the governor of New York also thinks that black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. So I mean, can we really?
True. So yeah, not gonna happen. He will be convicted on state level because that's the only one that'll actually stick, and all the federal ones are just garbage anyway.
Right.
So that is where we are right now. Again, it's a long way to go, but we also see the writing on the wall. So I just remember, stay out of your emotions. You
Yes,
can still
please.
speak the truth. Just stay out of your emotions. Don't go acting up. Don't do what they're expecting you to do.
Go to
Let
work.
them let them do what they do, and then we can say, "Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know what you're talking about." If you're
Go
a
to
big
work.
name, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Don't let them get you caught up into it.
Go to work. Buy your
go to work.
groceries. Feed your families.
Do your thing.
And stay away from liberals on TikTok and other
Yeah.
social media platforms.
And
Stay out of their
Instagram and Facebook.
lives. Just stay away from them. And when they jump inside your comments, just block them, get rid of them. Who cares? Ignore them. And just continue to spread your message. Don't let them get you caught up in some debate back and forth. Don't do that, because then people start making emotional comments, and then oh, look at this Donald Trump person's unhinged over here. This is them. This is how they are, and that's how they'll spin it. So and don't fall for it.
Unless you find it quite hilarious and you said, "Yes, I am unhinged," and you laugh with it,
Yeah.
then
That's different.
which is what I do. I roll with the punches and I say, "Man, yes, I am unhinged."
It's different what you do.
Yeah, I do. I do something different. I'm weird.
Yeah.
And it's kind of brilliant.
And
Yes.
it's
I
a
like
part. So hey, don't forget tomorrow to tune in tomorrow. We have a
Uh-oh.
He froze.
I got him.
FBI.
You got him.
Tomorrow tomorrow is Friday. Oh yes, tomorrow will be Famous Friday. So I'm pretty sure Marlon's trying to pull up the person that we're going to be discussing tomorrow. It's pretty funny, the people that are coming after him. So I hope you guys tune in. Famous Fridays is going to be a regular thing. Marlon's probably going to let you know who the Famous Friday person is.
yes,
Because what we're gonna do is
we are going to roast the mess out of people. It is going to be quite the roast session. But also, yes, exactly, Teresa, 741. Every time at 741, this is what happens to my internet. Not going to lie. Every time. Internet goes down, 741 every night.
That's the upload package that the FBI is getting.
Oh, that's what they take when they take when they want. Well, have fun, FBI. I recently had the opportunity to run into a few of what you would call it, TikToks. What's the best word for them there, bro?
They're from Wakanda.
Yeah, Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Yeah. And
that's the shirt right there, Wakanda forever.
The things that they espouse are quite interesting, to say the least. And so I'm gonna bring this up for you guys because I want to give you a precursor of what tomorrow will entail. If you're unaware of how crazy these people can be, I don't know why it won't load up now, but for some reason, I know what I can do.
Baby, come back.
Baby, come back.
No, Lydia is. Yeah, you're right. You said woke.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
she said it. Wakanda. Yeah, that's a shirt you need to make. Wakanda forever.
That'll be
Wakanda
funny.
forever.
Your dream, man.
All right, here we go. I got it. I finally found it. All right. This is one I'm going to tell you now that it's going to he does cuss, but he also invents some interesting words.
Invents words.
He invents a good word. Okay,
Mr. Glass.
He's not going to be the topic, but his people that he follows are going to be the topic. One guy named something Chaos, and his manly looking woman, and she looks almost like Chuck D.
Oh gosh.
And so when you see her, you'll understand what I mean. Like I have seen ugly people in my lifetime. I have, trust me.
But to this extent?
But to this extent, I can't say I have. Okay.
Ugh.
And they're the kinds of black people that like to call black people racist, white racist names.
Mhm.
And this is one of their people, and a lot of the people that follow them are just like him, special needs. They really are special needs. And this is not a knock against special needs people, but this is when you give the insult of special needs, this is what we mean. Okay, I don't mean like my brother, because even my brother would call this guy retarded. My brother, who is special needs, would call this guy retarded.
You're gonna get flagged.
Bad names. It's like you're giving special needs people a bad name. They're
No.
that.
I'm giving this guy who is a retard a bad name. Okay,
so
my brother is
flagged.
not a retard. My brother is special needs. My brother calls people who are stupid retards.
His
I have
afro
the license. I have that. It's like the N-word pass. Okay.
His
So
afro looks
for
painful.
the.
Doesn't his afro look painful?
it does look painful, like it don't like comb. Now listen carefully. You're gonna hear a word you've never heard before. Here you go.
Okay. I'm going to explain this to you, and I'm going to explain it bluntly as I could. And especially to your little Coonesian ass.
There's one.
Wait, is that the word?
No.
I don't know why the fuck you want to decide you want to jump in on a black woman's page for no stupid fucking dumbass reason.
He talks like Thomas.
And
I
then
just realized.
everybody's all bashing on your stupid ass.
Nasalier.
Just
which
wait.
is not surprising.
Just listen. And stroke.
It's
Stroke.
thinking.
You're trying to think that you're inferior. Inferior, my black melanated ass.
I'm not inferior. Right. You're right.
What?
Yeah.
Just because you're married to a white woman,
He's not.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Hold on.
you think you're inferior?
Huh?
You think you're inferior?
Imperior.
Marley, you know when he took that pause, he was like he was trying to get the wheels to turn. He was like,
He said
inferior.
He said, "You think you're inferior? You think you're imperior?
Oh my god,
Imperior."
You out your
Gay
muck.
Junior.
Oh my god.
He said, "I'm imperior," and that's okay. I don't know what it means, but I told him to make sure he submitted to the dictionary. People,
We need a
Webster's
shirt.
looking. Webster's looking for new words.
No, we need a shirt. Imperior.
Imperior. No, what it should be? It should be Imperior, and it's like Donald Trump as like the God Emperor, right?
Imperior.
Imperior.
He's the Imperior. Yay.
Look, when I tell you tomorrow will be hilarious,
Oh man,
do not drink water and do not be having to pee tomorrow.
what
Okay?
are you gay?
Use the bathroom.
I'll make you famous.
Go bathroom 1 and 2. Do not drink a whole lot of water because you might come through your nose. But be prepped with it because this of all the ones we've done, this one has to be, and I mean the absolute most hilarious one. Not going.
I might actually have a stiff. I might actually have a
happens,
stiffer drink.
Have the stiffer drink, buddy.
We might have to eat him up. We're gonna eat him alive. Him and that
Oh.
other dude.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. I already told them that we were going to do this, and he said, "Well, check your podcast out. You don't even own it." No, even if I don't own it, I'm still doing it. So for tomorrow, enjoy it. But we'll be back.
Yeah, black people can't own things.
No, we can't.
The white guy owns it right there. That guy down there.
Yeah,
It's actually Koi's. I'm sorry. I should not be
that's what it
usurping
is.
authority over white people.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Koi.
That's what it sounded like to me when he said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal your stuff. Man. I apologize. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. I hope you forgive me. Did you pick me? Are you gonna pick me? At least?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you're pick me too.
I'm
at
picked.
the same time.
Yay!
Can I be a pick me too?
Please.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yes.
Because it's how these people think. It's a white man's world, right?
It is.
Everything he does.
Wide world.
Yeah.
I want to be wide so bad.
You know what? I think
So
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a parody of "This Is a Man's World." I'm gonna sing "This Is a White Man's World."
That'd be hilarious.
You could just there's an AI generation site that you can do that. You
I'm
can
gonna do it.
actually feed
Instead
a
of "Man's
script.
World," I'm gonna say "This is the White's World."
BLM will have a field day.
Imperior.
I don't know if it'll let you, but it'd be funny. The Imperior song.
In either case, people have an Imperial night and an Imperial day tomorrow.
Carrier.
I hope you conquer all of your challenges imperially, and
while you fight your inferiority complex,
and praise the Imperior Donald Trump.
Imperial.
I tell you, man, that's the meme right there. It's like he's the Imperior.
Dude is a complete and utter moron.
Yeah.
And trust me, when you hear the rest of his people, and when you see, look, okay, I know I can be mean.
Oh wow.
And people think I'm mean, but when you see these people, you understand. And I'm not actually being as mean as I could be until tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be as mean as I cut. Yeah. I have cut deep before. I have cut people deep before to where they've quit doing what they normally do. I've made a girl quit school before. I have made her cry for most of her life, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm digging into my old bag of 12-year-old tricks. It's going to be bad for them. I just want people to be aware. So don't come telling me that you're too mean. I don't care. It's going to happen. Okay?
Feelings will get hurt.
Yeah. If my mom heard it, she'd be like, Marlon, come on. I'd be like, Mom, it was needed. She's like, okay.
Son, be gracious. No, okay.
I want to be there. If I'm not there, I will show up.
Hey, if you come in late, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Come in either way. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow, 6:30 for Savage Patriots, and the roast session shall begin on these hoteps. And they cannot come and shut anything down because this isn't TikTok, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, Mr. Lee,
like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.